안녕하십니까. 유엔미래포럼의 박영숙입니다. 오늘은 캐롤 선생님을 모셨습니다. Hi Carol, how are you?
Oh, good. Thank you,
Good.
Mr. Park.
You have just arrived.
Yes, I
Right.
have. It's very exciting.
Yeah.
Thank you.
How many days ago?
About 4 days ago, 5 days ago. 5 days ago. 5
Very
days
good,
ago.
very good. So you've been busy with me, right?
Yes,
You're going
yes.
to the Dongdaemun market for
Jeonghaecheon.
yeah,
Clothes,
Jeonghaecheon
it's very
for clothes
exciting.
and
Looking around,
looking
in the
around.
mountains.
Yeah, so
Oh,
you've
it's
been-
beautiful.
You've been, going out for a walk this
Oh,
morning.
yes, it's so beautiful.
Okay, so very good. Okay, so why are you here this time?
Oh, well, as usual, I'm visiting friends and close, like family, and probably teaching because I've taught in Korea many, many years, and now I'm back. I'm free. My son has grown up. If you look down here.
Yeah, your son is right here,
Yeah.
right in the right corner. Yeah, what's his name?
Michael.
예, 마이클. 이번에 우리 캐롤 선생님은 교수 여기서 가르치러 왔습니다. 한국에서 오랫동안 교수 역할을 했고요. 교수로 일했고 여기 지금 보여드리는 게 마이클 아들도 지금 커서 지금 미국에 있고 마이클도 지금 소프트웨어로 공부를 열심히 하고 일자리 찾아서 일을 하고 있습니다. Okay, I know that you've been traveling or you've been teaching in very many countries, several countries, right?
Yes.
예, 우리나라뿐만 아니라 영어 ESL 교사 자격증이 있어요. 그래서 여러 나라에서 가르쳤습니다. So which country are you?
Well, Korea, I've taught here at different universities for about 15 years. Probably 16 altogether. And so I started out at Sogang University in Seoul for a couple of years, and then I went down to Cheongju University and for a couple of years, and I kept getting better and better jobs. And I moved to Incheon, In-High University for English education majors, and that was really fun because I had the same students for 3 or 4 years, so it was really different from the other schools that were, general English, 2 or 3 different classes every semester, within 6 classes, and so speaking, listening, reading, writing. Whatever students needed, I would teach it. There were even culture courses at Ewha Women's University, and that was interesting. It had a lot of high technology vocabulary though, so the students had to be high intermediate or advanced, and they were. There were some very, very good students.
Very good. So altogether 16 years, something like
Yes,
that. Very long time.
amazing.
한국에서 16년간 교수했습니다. 이화여대 교수로부터 시작해서 서강대학교 교수했고요. 서울대 청주대학교, 인하대학교에서는 또 영어 영문학과 교수를 하면서 지금까지 영어 회화부터 시작해서 영장문이라다가 그죠? writing, reading, 뭔가 다 했다는 겁니다. So very good. You've been sort of here in Seoul and also in the countryside as well.
Yes, yes, very
good.
beautiful areas and lots of interesting people. So many different, from all over Korea. There were neighbors and also teachers from all over the world, so it was very interesting, and Korean teachers as well, very interesting and good colleagues. There's so much to say, and the food,
You love Korean
excellent,
food.
excellent, yes.
Yeah.
Generally very healthy.
Okay, so you were in Saudi Arabia.
Oh yes,
One of the
recently.
countries. Recently,
Right.
Oh. How long you been there?
Well, I was in Saudi Arabia for 5 years.
Yeah.
Recently, yes. And at first I thought, here's a good way to build a pension and use my skills in English going to a new country. And then I realized when I got there, there's so many interesting young ladies really wanting to work and create small businesses. And certainly there are many different lifestyles. There's the very wealthy, and then the middle class is very, very broad. It's starting out to get bigger population-wise there. And so it was very interesting for me. It was very hot all the time, but we were inside, so it didn't really matter. And
So were you teaching at a university there?
yes, I was. I was teaching at the largest women's university in the world, actually, Princess Noor University, and it had just opened this the largest campus when I arrived. It had opened about maybe half a year earlier. So I really got in at the beginning, and I helped with developing different programs, and of course teaching full-time, as all the teachers did there. My master's is in English, teaching English as a second language. So, I'm well prepared, and I was ready. We used a lot of materials that the UK uses for IELTS preparation, and their rubrics as standardized testing formats. But like at EWA, when I was here, we also had teams of teachers actually making up the multiple choice questions and answers for midterm, and some other tests, like monthly tests, assessments. So not so different in a lot of ways. I mean, that way, as far as the schoolwork went. I mean, there's certainly a lot of cultural differences.
Are they wearing, what do you call this?
Headscarf.
Yeah, headscarf.
Well, that was a small one, but we couldn't have, there were many topics we could not talk about, including music.
Oh.
I know, so that was very, even though as soon as classes get out, students put in their headphones, pick up their phones, and go out in the hallways or to the cafes and listen to music. But it wasn't considered appropriate. No, but not in a women's, only when there are men around.
Oh.
And if it depends on their parents and their family, if they want to do that or not. So usually it's about humility, and those headscarves, by the way, are very beautiful. They're all different silks and colors now. So there's much more variety than there used to be. It used to be
also
all black.
there are no liquors.
Right, no liquor is allowed in the country because of
if they go home,
the religion.
Drink, or they do not drink at home.
People could, pretty much. It's what's behind your doors happens is up to your family, kind of thing. But it's impossible to get liquor. However, the near country, on weekends, the roads are packed going to Bahrain, where there is plenty of liquor. So that is interesting. I'm not saying that they do that, but a lot of Saudis, those streets are full.
그리고 사우디아라비아에 5년 있었고요. 거기에서 프린세스 노아 여대 처음 만들어졌을 때 그게 세계 최대 대학교랍니다. 그 여대에 가서 5년 동안 가르쳤는데 그때 뭐 젊은 여성들 뭐 그리고 그 여자 아이들에게 이게 쓰는 거 있잖아요. 스카프. What is it called in
hijab.
히잡.
The hijab.
예, 히잡을 그죠 학교의 학생들은 뭐 써도 되고 안 써도 되고 남자가 있을 때만 쓴답니다. 꼭 써야 되고 남자가 없을 때는 뭐 머리 풀어놓고 있어도 되고 또 거기에서는 술을 마실 수가 없는데 술 마시러 사람들이 또 바레인에 주말에 많이 간다 이런 얘기도
There is something about the headscarf too.
Yeah,
Another
headscarf,
point.
yeah.
Sometimes people wore them at school too, because if you didn't have time to do your hair, if you usually curled it, or how long it takes to get your hair right.
Yeah.
So you could put the headscarf over it and nobody knows.
그러니까 학생들이 히잡을 쓰는 이유는 헤드스카프를 쓰는 이유는 어떨 때 머리를 안 감았거나 떡진머리거나 아니면 파마가 안 돼가지고 뭐 머리가 엉망일 때 이럴 때는 그냥 히잡을 쓴답니다. 아무튼 그런 좋은 점도 장점도 있다고 하네요. So Saudi Arabia is very interesting.
It is really interesting. And the desert, it's so empty. When I went out hiking with a place called Haya Tours, it's a government-sponsored tour organization for visitors, and teachers can go too. It's all depends on the law, but anyway, I went out just outside Riyadh, not really far, maybe 2 hours from the capital, and the desert was beautiful. It was hills of sand, just endless, and a few camels, and we went to camel farms, art villages. It was very interesting. So, and had camp, barbecue.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Oh, that lamb is good.
lamb is good.
Delicious.
리야드에서 한 2시간 정도만 나가면 아름다운 사막, 데저트가 있고요. 거기서 캠을, 낙타 팜, 낙타 농장에도 가고 아름다운 뭐 예술 작품들도 보고 굉장히 좋은 재미있는 시간을 5년간 영어 교수를 했습니다. 이 사람은 ESL하고 IELTS라고 영어 시험, 영국에 들어가는 영어 시험 이런 것들 아주 전문적으로 가르치는 영어 영문과 석사학위를 받으신 교수님이십니다. So, and you were in Sri Lanka recently.
Oh, yes, yes. Well, that's interesting too. That's a place I've always wanted to go to because it's kind of a holy place for Buddhism, and I just meditate sometimes, even though I grew up Catholic. But anyway, a lot of people meditate, and I thought it'd be a peaceful area, and it was pretty popular for people in Saudi Arabia because it's a rainforest, Sri Lanka. So so I went with a group of colleagues one time, and we loved it there. They have beautiful beaches. They have meditation places. They have yoga, Ayurveda, all kinds of natural herbal medicines and things. And really nice people. So I figured I would go back, and it's one of the closest places that isn't the Middle East, but it's near the Middle East, and pretty easy to go to and stay. So I went back a couple of times, and then I met a family there, and they offered to give me a lifetime lease for my little house. So
Really?
well, I built it, and then they gave me the lease. So so that's why I keep going back. I have no choice. But I love it. I love the rainforest. I wrote stories there. I love it.
So you have a house there.
Yeah, it's
So how
tiny
many
though.
rooms?
No, it's just one room.
Just one
It's
room.
one room,
Yeah,
but it's
you
got a
built it,
kitchenette. Yes,
You
and
built it.
helped design it.
Really?
But the really smart person, of course, is the owner and his family, but he also works with architects and does tours and all kinds of things for the island. A very smart person. He's well respected in his village, Lions Club. And this was the first, I was lucky I was there at the right time, as they say in business. And his business partner was leaving back to Germany. He has a good connection with Germany. His family all speak 3 languages.
Yeah.
And they're all in good schools.
Well, what is a sort of regular monthly rental cost in Sri Lanka? Cheaper than Korea?
Well, it depends where you go. I mean, there are 5-star hotels, so it can be very expensive. I have friends who just opened a huge, but very nice, family run, but huge on the beach. It's called Village Estuary, and it's or Villa Estuary, and it's on an estuary, but then there's the beach, and their place is huge. It looks somewhat traditional, but it's very expensive. It's let's see, how much is it? I think it's $100 a night there. Okay, so it can be that would be
$100 a night versus
that would be
cheaper
with
ones.
your own villa, right? Versus $5 a night, right? Or even 20 on the beach, but you wouldn't get $5 on the beach, but down the street,
Yeah,
which is fine.
스리랑카에도 지금 how long were you staying?
Well, I'm going back and forth now for 5 years.
5년 정도
So I
왔다
love
갔다
it.
하면서
It's
5년
beautiful.
정도 그게 불교의 교장이고 사우디아라비아하고 비교적 가깝고 명상, 요가, 허브 뭐 이런 것들이 좋아가지고 거기에 가서 이제 죽을 때까지 살 수 있는 집 방을 하나 그죠 큰 방을 하나 지었답니다. 아무튼 거기에 싼 거는 뭐 5불짜리 호텔 저기도 있고 뭐 이런 곳인데 스리랑카 will be probably cheaper than Korea, don't you think?
It depends what you want. Yes, I would. Some things like internet. Actually, I think you've got more going on here, and therefore it's cheaper somehow. But it's interesting. Some things are, some things are not. Food is very cheap.
Any other country that you have visited or
Let's see.
English?
Well, I've visited a lot of places. Wherever I am, any countries nearby. While I was in Saudi Arabia, because of the location, I got to go to Oman, which is absolutely beautiful, and there were teaching conferences there. There was a writing conference. I went to. Sometimes students will present, and we support or help them with editing. Or anyway. So Oman, and then I visited Istanbul with other colleagues. Very beautiful city, both east and west, right in the middle. And actually, all these places in the Middle East actually have so many, Eastern and Western mixtures of people. I found it fascinating. And let's see, where else had I been there? Oman,
You've
Istanbul.
been Sri Lanka. You visited somewhere.
Sri Lanka.
Southeast
You would
Asia,
think.
yeah.
I didn't get to India. I was going to go this time, but I think another time maybe I will. I have many friends from Kerala because in Saudi and also even in Sri Lanka, of course, there's lots of Indians. So I knew Indians from Saudi Arabia. I had some neighbors. There were engineers who were Indians actually ran the place, and Saudis will say this too.
Yeah.
They helped build it up until Saudis themselves got the education and are able to take those positions, or at least more positions.
I think Carol's story will continue. Stay tuned.
Thank you.
Stay tuned.
I'm sorry.
Okay, see you.